Hello out there. We're on the air. It's Championship Sunday from the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. From CurlVegas, just outside of Las Vegas, we have semifinal action between the number 3 seed Team Duncan taking on the number 7 seed Team Duncan. Team Duncan hails from Coyotes Curling of Tempe, Arizona, and Hernandez is from OC Curling as well as CurlVegas. So we had a really excellent round of semifinals to start off Championship Sunday. One upset in the bunch. We'll get into that as we go into the games. Otherwise, some pretty exciting games all around. And I think we'll see a good one here between Hernandez with the Yellowstones and the green jerseys taking on Team Duncan with the neon-colored teal and purple or pink and the Red Rocks. So we have Sam Brokenshire in the hat for Team Duncan to start off the game. And we are off. Bang it gone, get it on. As we are playing 8 ends of regulation, ties are not allowed, so if the game is tied after 8 ends, we will go to a draw shot, skip stones, to see which team will be closest to the center of the house. We are playing 8 ends. These games are not being times, but we are encouraging speedy play. So basically, everyone should be playing ends in about 17 minutes or less, which is very doable. If you're taking a lot longer than that, we start doing stuff. As Kira Benayan is pushing out from the hat for her first rock. The first rock from Duncan ends up in the guard zone, a middle guard. So they're trying to, I think, put up not a corner guard. They're going to the wings to start. And that's going to settle in the 12-foot just behind the tee line. And so the next rock from Sam is heading down the ice. And this is going to settle in the top of the rings, partially covered. We can see it's covering about 20% of the shot rock with the guard. The guard is covering about 20%. And so it looks like David is asking Menayan to draw to the wing again with maybe a corner guard this time or top of the house. And this stone is staying pretty straight down the way, sweeping for weight more than anything. As that's about 17 seconds, and that will yield a high guard. It's not really guarding too much, but could be used later in the end. So the situation is Duncan is sitting shots with Hernandez sitting the second shot on the left side of the house at about 8:30. If the house were a clock dial, and if I were a bell, I'd be singing. That's my Broadway reference of the night. So the other semifinal on the ice is a contest between Team Rice, made it rhyme, versus Team Orange Coyote, which doesn't rhyme. But Team Rice is the 1 seed in the field, and Team Orange Coyote is the 4 seed. So it should be a good game on tap as we have Alyssa Duncan pushing out from the hat for her first rock. And that looks like it's going to get to the guard zone in front of the house. Just a tight guard. So with the 5-rock guard zone rule over, David Hernandez has the broom down for the takeout. As we see Alec Mitchell with his first rock of the end, going for a peel. And this is floating out a little wide. Actually, it's going to make contact with the Reds in the rings. Gets rid of one of the Reds, and the shooter's going to roll across the top of the house to hang on to be third shot. So actually a good shot there from Alec. Talking about these teams' journeys. Both these teams are from different pools. We had 15 teams in the field that allowed us to divide up into pools of 5 that were very Vegas themed. We had the dice pool, the cards pool, and the slots pool. So Team Hernandez, which emerged as the 3 seed, was undefeated in pool play, but there's an asterisk. A couple of them, because they had 2 ties. So they started with a tie their first game against Coyote Wild. They defeated Team Tanner from the Oval in their second game. They tied Pitlar's Skip It in the third game, and then they won against the Vegas Winers in their last game. And that's how they got here with a record of 2-0-2. And then they had a rematch against Pitlar's in the quarterfinals where they eked out, they emerged the winner. They kind of pulled ahead for the win. As we see Alyssa's second rock. And it's like we see the skip, Kenny sweeping this end. I wonder if that's a rotation change just for this game. Ends up tapping the shot stone up a bit. So that was the jury for Team Hernandez, the 3 seed. Now for Team Duncan, the 7 seed. This is where the upset comes in. We'll get to that in just a second. As we have another peel on tap from Alec. So Team Duncan went through pool play, the slots pool with a record of 2-2, and their draw shot, the distance from the button was, I think, the difference to get them into the playoffs, because they had a relatively low one with 112 centimeters, 112.3 centimeters to be precise. So they went through pool play at 2-2. They defeated Team Bushkoff from Milwaukee, as well as 4 non-blondes from Coyotes. They lost to Complete Sheet Show, and they also lost to Sandstorm Sweepers, and those 2 teams also advanced to the playoffs. And then Team Duncan, they had a rematch against Complete Sheet Show, and they pulled out the win. They were up 5-2 after 4, and then Complete Sheet Show was able to tie things up after 7, and it came down to a very crucial set of shots in the 8th end, where Team Duncan was able to score the win. So they are in this playoff. It's a 3-7 contest. As we have Jen Collins' first rock, which is going to be a guard. And also these teams are here because every player has 5 years of curling experience or less. Kind of the joke for people up in Canada is the 5U for people who are under 5 years of age. And ha ha ha, very funny Canadians. Obviously, it's based on years of experience, and that experience can vary. Between just being on the ice once a week or going to a lot of tournaments. But it's the chronological years that we're counting. As we see Zach Altman in the hat, and if we see a takeout, we should watch this takeout. It is something else. His delivery. Kim Strong calls it the Scorpion. As no Scorpion, we're going for, I guess, a more normal draw weight takeout here from Altman. So Team Hernandez has 20 years of experience, and so they are at their max, and this is their last MoPac 5 and under. This is going to chip off the guard and roll to the wing, where it's not going to be much of a factor. The front of the house is pretty open now, although the score is the scoring right now is 2 Duncan Reds. So Hernandez is maxed out at 20, and then for Team Duncan, they are in their 4th year, although one person has an extra year. They have 17 years total, so that's like 4.25 years per person, which isn't a thing. So someone has an extra year. Actually, I say that I think 2 of them are at their max. So, and then so that means other players have less than 4. So next rock coming from Jen. And it's been a fun weekend here at CurlVegas. We've been on sheets 3 and 2, or 2 and 3. 2 of hearts and 3 of clubs, I believe. 3 of a kind. All the sheets are named, are the Vegas names. So it's 2 of hearts, 3 of clubs, ace of spades, and 4 of diamonds, and 5 purple horseshoes. That's the secret sheet. So great job putting in another rock for Team Duncan, and so the broom is down for the takeout, and we just missed the Scorpion kick. We'll see it again, I'm sure. So looking to make these rocks fly, kind of a Superman shot. It's going to do 1, 2 of the Reds moving. The shooter goes out of play. Only one of the Reds goes away. The situation in the house is still 2 Duncan stones, and then Hernandez has 2 rocks on the outside for 3rd and 4th shot. So with the first of the skip stones about to be delivered, this is Kenny Duncan. He is he normally skips. He's starting 4th today still, and looking to put up a front stone or a guard would be the miss. So Jen looks to be okay with that in terms of weights. 1560 in terms of the time between the hog lines, and there's going to be a front stone. So it doesn't curl back as much as they were anticipating, which we've seen on the sheet this morning. The rocks curl fairly heavily away from that sidewalk, the black walkway to the left from this view. It does curl back going the other way, but not nearly as much. So we have we had a fun weekend. We try to strike the right balance between competition and fun, because bonspieling is one of the aspects of curling that makes the sport so unique and enjoyable. Just to be in a club for a weekend, playing a lot of games and having fun with a lot of people. That's part of the essence of the game. But also, people want to be able to compete for something meaningful. And in this case, it's a berth to the U.S. National Championship for 5 and under. As David Hernandez's shot, looking to move some of these reds around. Gets one of the reds, I believe, out. Yes, it's a nose hit. And so the addition of the National Championship has kind of changed how 5 unders are run and participation. We're thankful that we still get a decent number of people to come out to the events. We had 24 last year, 15 this year, and we're definitely in the thick of the competition now. It's Championship Sunday. These teams are definitely playing for the championship or the third place game. But throughout the weekend we had events. We had aspects to try to make the game more fun. So we had double takeout balloons, where if you were holding onto the double takeout balloons at the end of the game, you won a round of beverages for your team and a buddy team. And then we also had a hogline burned rock kind of consolation jackpot, where if you burned a stone or hogged a stone, you put a dollar into the pot, and then we kind of drew to see who would collect the pot. And so we just did the drawing, and Mike Hugh was the recipient of that. And so Kenny's last stone is a tap up to the edge of the forefoot. Good for second, or good for shot actually. They're sitting 2 now. So Hernandez has a bit of a tricky shot if he wants to go for 2. He could go for 1 as well. Those shoes are really effervescent on the ice. The white bottoms, I guess, are leading to the sheen. And also some of the sunlight that is kind of poking into the building. So the broom is down for David Hernandez's last. And I think they're going to get a little tricksy here. This is the first end of the game, so you can feel you can maybe take a little bit of a risk to see if you could get something going, go for 2. So I think the plan is to do an in-off double for 2. At the very least, to get rid of one of the counting Duncan stones. So at most it'd be a steal of 1. As David's rock is away, working to hold the line or push it over a little bit more. It kicks it over, and really close, and it's going to be good for 1. So it needed like another 2 rocks of distance, but like it hit it at the right angle, hit the first rock at the right angle, and great shot there by David for the single point. And really, what a fun way to start this game off. Team Duncan will have the hammer when we come back to the 2026 MoPac 500 Championship on the curling.gg network. So as we're about to get started with this second end, coverage of this event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. You can find your favorite competitive curling team and see how they rank against the competition at doubletakeout.com. And by curling.gg. Curling.gg is growing more than ever and is partnered with Jamie Sinclair with the Curl Up with Jamie program or channel to provide curling insight to more people everywhere. And by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. As Kira's first shot is away. Looking to see if there's a score on sheet 1. I don't see one. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. I'll let you guys know when there's a score. So Kira's first shot is a corner guard. Alyssa Duncan's holding the broom for this game. Sam is delivering her first rock to the end. And I think looking to draw around that corner guard that Hernandez just put up. And you can see it really swing away from that sidewalk as it will get under the protection of the corner guard. And so now Hernandez can try to draw on top of it. And that does seem to be the call. Now we have people coming into the club this Sunday. That's great to see. Championship Sunday, obviously, if you're out, sometimes people tend to, look for other pursuits on their day off. But it's nice for people to come visit and watch the game and cheer their fellow curlers on. As Benayan is going to deliver, hopefully to draw to the side of the 4-foot, right in front of the red shot rock. Now this rock is over curling, so might be looking for a plan B. They're going to tap the yellow up and maybe sweep it into the house. Not going to get there. That was 1409, so the weight was good for a draw to that side of the sheet if it didn't crash. So looking at the situation in front of the house, there's two corner guards now, and so it looks like they're going to try to draw on the outside in with Sam's next stone. They have an alternate in the field. His name is Ryan. I didn't see him at the event this weekend, so I don't know if he made it down or made it up from Tempe. $15.15, so this is a little on the light side, and you can also see that it's not curling back as much. So for sheet 2 especially, that's something to be mindful of, and the team that notices that and utilizes it will have a better chance of prevailing and punching their ticket to the 1:30 p.m. championship game, which is going to be streamed on the MoPac YouTube channel. So looking to try to draw around again. We have Alex's first stone. And this is a better draw, hoping to get around the guard and kind of sit right on top of the red. So it needed another half rocket curl to be perfect, but it's pretty close. So they might be able to have gotten away with it. They might have gotten away with it. It is, let's see how open it is from this head-on view. And it's not super open. It's about 60% buried, 80% buried. And so a heavy draw could get to it and tap it out, really. And the risk of it bumping the red on the left side from this view is, I don't think that the odds are that high. So I think they are going to go for that heavy draw, just based on where Alyssa has the broom. Doing some rock cleaning. It's important to make sure that the bottom of the rock is clean, and that the ice surface is also clean of debris, because any sort of rock or hair even that gets under the rock can knock it off course. It's tragic when it happens to you. It's shocking when it happens to other people, but when it happens to you, it's tragic. Kind of a variation of that refrain about, like, a comedy is when someone else gets hurt, and tragedy is when you get hurt. So going for the heavy draw, I liked what they were trying to do, just a little wide, and it didn't need to be super heavy, so I think the weight was okay. It was just a little wide. So not seeing a score on one. as Alec is getting set for his second stone. Looking to draw again. Hernandez is up currently 1-0 without the hammer here in the second end. So looking to draw on top of their own stone, I believe is the call. And this is curling up a bunch, a 1450, so the weight would be okay if it still looks a little hot though. It's going to kiss the shot yellow back to the edge of the forefoot for second shot, I believe, and the yellow shooter is going to stick around to be shot. So interesting setup right now for Hernandez, and I think they are going to try that heavy takeout again, or the heavy draw takeout, as Alyssa Duncan is now in the hack. So definitely kind of a full order change for this game, as Kenny Duncan on the right side has been the skip for most of the game, or most of the tournament. He's now just sweeping and throwing the fourth rocks, which I guess might just be in terms of an endurance, because teams are going to be playing up to 3 games today, and this is the middle game. And so I think maybe just want to make sure all the players stay as fresh as possible. That might be some of the consideration. Someone could be a little hurt, I don't know. This draw weight looks a lot better. It's going to run the yellow onto the red, kicks that red to the back 12 foot, and then the yellow deflects on top of the other yellow, moves them around. Yellow is still shot on the button, but Team Duncan has a red counter. It's a second stone on the edge of the forefoot. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop a note in the chat. As we see Zach's first stone going for a takeout, like a heavy draw, nothing too hard in terms of weight. Want to make sure they hold the line, though. It's looking pretty good. It's going to hit the red and then roll towards the yellow shot stone. I think taps it back, so there might be some separation. And there's a little separation. So with those rods fairly well buried, Duncan has the broom down for appealing the guard, asking Jen Collins to perform the honors. As Collins gets reset in the hack. Looking for a good delivery to have all the energy going into the stone towards the target, and a good release in terms of the rotation of the rock. Looks pretty good out of release. Working to hold the line. It's floating out a little bit, but they're able to get a piece of that yellow. And the shooter rolls away, as does the guard. And so David wants to replace the guard, which makes a ton of sense. So looking for a draw from Altman. So not going to see a scorpion kick for this. Looking for about 5 feet of curl. And the ice seems to be at speed. This is the second draw of the morning, and there's not a scrape after the morning draw. So this ice is fairly well broken in. So ice should be close to speed at this point, as they're trying to coach it over as much as they can. And I think, if it was not going to be a guard, at least it's kind of a frozen stone. It's not quite frozen. there's a line, a conga line of 4 yellow stones, like da 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 da, a conga line, asking Jen to blow it up with her next rock. Make sure they have the right line, the right broom. And this is going to be a tee shot because you're going to need a lot of energy, but the energy needs to be on target for the shot to be effective. Jen Collins, the second stone. Good positive release there. I think it just kept it on line. Looks like it's going a little wide. It's going to maybe slap one of the yellows out. The shooter's going to go and it jammed on the back red. And so Hernandez is still seeing 3 without the hammer. And it does help open things up for Team Duncan. We've talked before about if you have the hammer, you want to try and draw play to the sides, and then if you need to, draw to the button for a single point. And that appears to be where we're going this end. As we are to skip stones, we see David Hernandez make his way down to the delivery side of the ice. And looking for a guard, we can see Zach holding the broom down. They are seeing about 4.5 feet of curl this morning. Let's see if we're going to get that 4.5 feet again with David Hernandez's first. A gentle release. They're just looking for a guard. And it took a swing just in front of the hog line. And they're trying to coach it over just another half rock. So they got close to the curl they wanted. The conga line is still at least partially accessible, especially when you look at it from this head-on view. And that's where Kenny has the broom down for, I think, smacking those yellows on the outside and make at least two go, I hope, at least one. So they're working to line up the shot. And we can see that Alyssa has the broom like right on the top yellow in the house. And I think ideally you'll see two go. I think the top yellow will spin out, and then the chain reaction will kick out the bottom yellow, but the middle yellow will likely stick around. As Duncan gets set. Line looks okay out of hand. A little wide. I think it's going to get the back yellow. It's the middle yellow, actually. So the advantage is still to Hernandez. They're sitting two yellows without the hammer here in the second end, up one. I think partly that was the ice conditions. As you know, they were throwing the turn where it's slow to come back, and it stayed on line though, which was why they were able to get one of them out. And it looks like Hernandez is set to draw again. I don't think they need another guard. I think they want to draw. I think to the top 8 foot is kind of what I'm thinking. This is kind of a tricky shot because you don't want to set up a double. But I think top of the 8 is a good call. If you're full 8 buried, it just really amps up the pressure. As the shot is away for David Hernandez, the last rock for Team Hernandez without the hammer here in the second end. And again, I think the target is top of the 8 foot. Or top 12 could be. It could be. And I think they got there, top 8 foot. So, Team Duncan is facing a dilly of a pickle here in the second end, facing 3 Hernandez yellows. They do have the hammer, so they have 2 chances at getting to shot stone. And I think what they're looking at doing, they're actually looking at doing kind of a similar shot to Kenny's first. Actually, this is going to be the last shot. So they don't get 2 chances. This is their last chance. So facing 3, I think they're going for a nose hit on the shot stone for a single point. They don't need a lot of weight, actually, because they just need to tap that yellow back about 2 feet or 2.5 feet to be shot. So facing 3, down 1. This is the hammer coming for Kenny Duncan. Looks good out of hand. Calling for curl. And he's saying no, no, no. This is just floating out there. So this is not going to get to the target. And the question is, where does it end up? It might touch the yellow in the back. It does, but then it spins to the edge of the 8 foot. And so it looks like this is steal of 3. So a good effort by Kenny Duncan, just didn't get there. And Kenny's trying to, talking to his teammates about what may have happened there. So, Team Hernandez jumps out to a 4-0 start. Team Duncan will have the hammer when we come back to the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. So after some conversation, Sam Brokenshire is looking to, I think, draw around the center guard that Kira Manayan just put up. It's the third end of our semifinal game between number 3 seed Hernandez taking on number 7 seed Duncan. And 1575 is the time. It's not going to get around the guard. It might settle into the guard zone. And indeed, it is a centerline guard. So the no-tick rule applies to that rock until after the 5th rock of the end. It cannot be dislodged from the center line by an opponent. And so it looks like David's going to ask Kira to draw around. Coyotes, as coverage of this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg is a sponsor of Team Canada's mixed doubles team, Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. And Kira is able to draw around those center guards. A beautiful draw there by Manayan. And she was so effusive when she received a paper crown last night at the banquet. We have a small ceremony where we kind of salute the players that have aged out of the event, or that they're 5. This is their last year of eligibility, and so all of Team Hernandez is aged out. David, Zach, Alec, and Kira, and so they were all called up. They were all given paper crowns, and you can check out their photos on the MoPac 5 Under Facebook page, as well as the MoPac Facebook page. So it looks like Sam's second shot is going to draw around. It might be on the guard, but if it's on the guard, they can split the rings open, or split the rocks open. It does hit the shot red, and then the shooter sticks in the edge of the 4-foot, so it's accessible. And that is what Dave is calling for. I believe kind of a board weight, not super crazy weight, but enough to make sure the stone goes away and hopefully roll under cover with Alex's first rock. So Kira was effusive. Alec was effusive in his own way when he got the paper crown last night. So looking for a hit and roll. This is going to be close. Hit, and it's going to roll, but it's going to roll open on the other side of the sheet. So it does set up a possible hit and roll coming the other direction. But it does the job of clearing the Team Duncan shot stone. And Hernandez is sitting 2. So we have an update on sheet A for Ace of Spades. The contest between Team Lars, Skip It from Silicon Valley taking on Team Rice from Coyotes. Rice had the hammer to start, but Skip It stole the first end with a single, and then Rice was able to score 2 in the second end to take a 2-1 lead over Team Lars. And that is where we're at on sheet A. That game is streaming on the CurlVegas YouTube channel. As we look our focus on the main game. We put our focus back on the main game. And interesting situation. It's always tough. I've skipped an okay number of games. I usually like playing lead, but I can skip if I need to or want to. These rocks at the top of the house are some of the testiest rocks you could deal with in a game, because you want to try and draw around them, or you want to try to maybe tap them out, but you usually just end up wrecking on them a lot of the times, or you end up promoting the wrong stone into the rings. So after that discussion with Alyssa and Jen, Alyssa is back in the hat, and we can see that the room is set up for the draw plan B, maybe to tap the red up. Kind of choosing the right side of the ice for a tap up if they need it. As we are in the third end of play, out of a possible 8 ends of regulation. And this is Alyssa Duncan, her net struck, heading down the sheets. Calling for curl. It's kind of out there. I got 13-13, so it's also out there in terms of speed, as it's going to be a smidge heavy, and David's going to try to see how far back he can get it, and the answer is through the house, out of play. So David has the broom down for Alex's second stone. I think they say the weight's there, might be a little up. $14.18, so it's a smidge heavy. And that's why the sweeper's really going to put a broom on it. And it's going to settle in the back forefoot. So just kind of based on that shot and based on what I've seen so far on the sheet throughout the weekend, really, it's looking like 1430 is about tee line weight. If you time the rock as it travels between the hog lines. So now Hernandez is sitting 3, knocking on the door. And a bit of a puzzlement. Going over skip strategy, if you don't have the hammer, you want to control the front of the house and the center of the sheet. David's done a pretty good job of that with a tight guard and the shot stone in the back forefoot, just off the center line. If you do have the hammer, you want to try to maximize your scoring opportunities. So you want to try to kind of coach the play to the side of the sheet. And so you want to try and get like multiple rocks that could count, and then just draw to the center of the sheet, the center of the house for a single point or multiple points later in the end. And so this end's not really shaping up for Team Duncan. And so it looks like they're going to try to open up the front so they have a chance to draw for at least a single point here in this end. As Alyssa's got the weight, it looks like it's on target. About almost 9 seconds. It's faster than 9 seconds. At 8:85, I may have been a little fast on the timer. But that rock had the right speed. It does open up the shot stone, and so David's looking to kind of close off access again, looking to put up another guard or a front stone. As Zach Altman is in the hatch, the CurlVegas representative of Team Hernandez. Looking for a front stone or a guard, something to basically block the path to the shot stone. It started to really hook there right in front of the hog line. And ends up just outside the center line, really kind of blocking that shot stone, although Team Duncan could draw to the shot stone if they wanted to. So back to rock peel mode, as Team Hernandez is still sitting 3 in the rings. And Alyssa Duncan is getting set for her next rock. Or is this Jen? I think this is Jen. Sorry. Yeah, it's Jen in the hat. So some discussion about where to put the broom. Kenny Duncan, the normal skip of the team is sweeping this game. But it's still offering some skippers inside for the other side of the sheet. As the Jen gets set. Looking for some more takeout weight, so expect to see some heat on this one. See some pepper. And it gets 2 of the rods moving, 1 red, 1 yellow. Opens up the front again. And I think the shooter stuck around to be another guard, kind of like frozen onto the yellow guard. So both teams are playing kind of the same notes, different melodies, of course. One is doing the aria of attack. The other one is doing the dulcet defense, shall we say. And this is looking pretty good. They don't want it to over curl, and this is on the verge of over curling. And it may have over curled just a smidge. And that could be the opportunity that Duncan is waiting for, as Hernandez is sitting 3, but we can see from this head-on view that that guard is only covering about 40% at most of the shot rock. And so a heavy draw is going to bump it out. It's Kenny's turn to throw, I believe. Or is it Jen's second throw? I think it's Jen's second throw. So this is a heavy draw. Slightly heavy draw. So probably backline to hack weight, I think is the call. So I think that would be about 13 seconds, I guess. I used the stopwatch inappropriately this throw. So just looking to sit on top of the shot stone, this is looking pretty good. It does chip it, and then the shooter's going to roll wide, so just a little heavy. And as a result, the shot stone is exposed, and Team Hernandez is just going to pop that out, just like a just like one of those alien creatures from the movie Alien. I don't know. So the broom is down for the light takeout. I think they would like to maybe hit and roll under those guards to the right from this view. So hit the inside of the red and roll under the protection of the guards, and then it's kind of going to force Duncan to kind of draw for the single point, barring some weird circumstance. So David is getting set. His first of 2 skip stones without the hammer here in the 4th end, or the 3rd end, apologies. And Zaz coming out to help sweep. This rock is not the weight that I think they wanted. I thought they were going to try to hit and roll, but I guess the call was a draw. And the draw was just about 3 feet too light in terms of the distance.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
So Team Duncan is sitting 1. And this is a chance to put another one into the rings. And so I think they're going to try basically the same shot that David just threw. I think the line is pretty similar. I think the weight is going to be just a little bit more. And then just like that, Duncan will be sitting 2. So the first rock from Kenny Duncan is underway. Looking to draw to the top 4 foot, I believe, buried under the guards and the stone that David Hernandez just threw. This is over curling on them, though. Going to settle in the guard zone. And so now I think David's going to try to just hit that red out and then be sitting 5. I thought they were going to hit it out just because, just to reduce the chances of the other team scoring multiple points. So David gets set. Gonna slide out towards the broom. Looking to hit out the red. This is his last shot without the hammer. Looking to be sitting 5. Needs to curl over a bit more. It's looking pretty good now. It jams on the yellow, and not the worst outcome though. The shooter's gonna roll to the edge of the 12-foot. And so that red sticks around. It's not shot though. It looks like it's at best 4th rock. And so Duncan has a draw for a single point. There's not going to be any real way to get 2 here, as the broom is down fairly quickly for this draw shots. His first shot was a little light, so let's see how he adjusts his weight. And the weight's looking decent. It might still be a little slow. It might be a slow path. And they want to make sure it gets around the yellow stones. It does. It's going to settle in the back 4-foot for the single point. So good effort there by Zach to try to coach it as far back as possible, but it sits down for the single point. Team Duncan is on the board. Hernandez is holding on to a 4-1 lead, and we'll have the hammer as we start the 4th end in just a moment at the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. Rocks in play. We are underway here at the 4th end of our semifinals at the 2026 MoPac 5 and under Bonspiel. Sam's first rock is headed down the way and will appear to be a corner guard. Actually slips into the top of the rings. As David is getting set for Kira Manayan's first rock. Looks like it's going to, I think, try to draw around the stone that was put up. I think going to tap it up, actually. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Endgame's 100% carbon fiber brooms feature either a 7.5-inch or 9-inch head, use eco-friendly fabric, offer adjustable pivot resistance, and provide a unique locking sliding position to help you deliver with confidence. Reach the next level with Endgame's leading-edge curling brooms, and learn more at endgamecurling.com. So we saw a hit being executed by Team Duncan. And back to the action here where we're going to see Kira's second shot. There's one Team Duncan rock in the ring. So I think looking to try to draw to it will be the next order of affair for Miss Manayan. Looking to draw on top of the red on the left side from this view. 1450, so it's about T-line weight. It's going to get around the red partially. It looks pretty exposed. So it looks like they could draw to it, as someone on the ice pointed out. And we are to the second stones, and so this is Alyssa Duncan and Jen Collins talking over the shot selection. And it looks like they've opted to not draw to it, but maybe draw in front of it for some reason. I think it's too much ice for drawing in front of it, because that's close to 6.5 feet. Okay, she moved in the broom. This is looking better for drawing on top, actually. So they heard me on the ice. They really shouldn't be able to hear me on the ice. So looking to draw down on top of the yellow shot stone on the left 8 foot. $14 even, so this weight's a little up, and so it might not get all the way to the stone as it needs it. And so David's going to be able to jump on it and push it to the back 8 foot, where it appears to be a second shot. Excuse me. So it looks like, based on where Hernandez is looking, it looks like they're going to try to hit the red, the outside red, and roll under cover with Mitchell's first rock. Actually, no, they're drawn the other way. David was looking at those stones, so it had me thinking that, oh, he's not going to split the rings and try to sit 2 at least. So this is not curling back as much as I had hoped, but it looks like it's going to be shot in the top 4 foot. So this is a good example of the strategy when a skip has the hammer, where play initially started going to the sides of the sheet, and Davis was trying to go to the other side of the sheet to create that multiple point opportunity, and it just didn't curl back as much, but it does still end up to be shot on the lid. So Alyssa's heading down for her second shot of this end without the hammer. Looking to I believe hit out the shot yellow that's on the top forefoot, I think is the call. As Alyssa gets set. Ready, steady, and we're underway. So looking to actually hit the side stones, I believe, and it might actually, it might hit the red in the back. It doesn't hit the red in the back, so it just kind of passes by everything. So a missed chance. I thought they were going after the shot stone, but they could have been going for the yellow that was on the left side of this view. So Hernandez has the broom down to try to split the rings on the right side again. I believe it's kind of throwing me off a little bit how kind of flat it is going towards the sidewalk, but it is shaping up to be a draw to the right side of the house from this view. And they want to be, I think, in a storing position, and I think they are close, but not all the way there. That's close. Looks like it is third shot, so it needed like a little less curl towards the wing, but good efforts. It might not be brought into play into a scoring position at the end of the end, as we have Jen getting set for her last, going for the takeout again, doing the other turn, I believe. And her shot's away. Kenny says the weight is up, out of hand, and then jumping to hold the line. The slight downside is that this rock can curl. Oh, it curls and it jams on the red and the back, but it does get both of those stones moving. And then the shooter actually rolled and jammed on the yellow on the right. So it definitely changes things around, going from Hernandez sitting 2 to Hernandez, I think, just sitting the 1. And Hernandez is looking at maybe drawing on the right side. I think that makes a lot of sense. Also, maybe hitting it out. I don't necessarily know if that's the best shot. Tapping that red back wouldn't be too bad, and it also creates a lot of backing on that side. So the broom is down, looking for the takeout. So let's watch the delivery from Zach. Not doing this. He's done the scorpion kick once this game, and I didn't have it on camera. Going for the takeout. This is looking okay. It might jam though. It does not jam. It hits, and the red goes away. The yellow stays. And it's a question of who might be second shots, as even Alyssa Duncan's walking around to see who might be second shots. I'm going to take a look at the overheads just to make sure I know what is second shot. Yep. So looking at the overhead. All right, looking at the overhead, it appears to be red by a sliver. So looking for a draw, I believe, with Jen Collins as next stone. So the rest of the way, they're actually going for a takeout. And it's over-curling slightly, but I think they're going to chip one of the yellows out. That yellow goes to the back of the house out of play. So the takeout was successful. David's going to take a look around the rings. And it looks like they're going to try to hit maybe. I was thinking hit, but they could also draw. And they're set up for the draw. So looking to, I think, draw on top of the yellow or to tap that red further out could be the call here. 1478, so it's like top 4 weight. It's over curling, and it's actually going to tap the red up closer to the center just by a couple inches. So a slight miss there, not too bad. So now with Hernandez sitting first, third, and fourth shot, if Duncan is able to tap out the yellow shot stone, they could be sitting 2, and one of those stones is pretty well covered. Kenny was talking over the shot with Alyssa, and they are looking to tap the yellow back or draw on top of the yellow. So Kenny is getting sets. Looking to draw on top of the shot yellow on the left side. So we're going from right to left. And the sweepers are definitely going hard for weight, I believe. And it's over curling on them, and it might hog. Okay, it does go over the hog line. That was 1775. And so now does David have a chance to get to that red rock to bring all the other yellows into play? I don't think so. It seems... I think it seems pretty difficult to get that red out, especially with that red guard that just got placed. So I think just based on where the rocks are positioned now, I think drawing to that side, the left side from this view, makes the most sense. David kind of had a bit of a wobble. He just made sure that the pathway is clear. So I think the draw down the middle toward the left, so go from the middle left makes sense because they're sitting 2 fairly buried. They get there before Team Duncan can put a stone. So this is kind of a slightly offensive and defensive move simultaneously. And it looks like David has a smile on his face as he throws the stone. I know, he's been coming to these events for a long time, and had some highlights and lowlights, but he's almost always effusive and positive in his play and how he interacts with others. This is looking pretty good as they're calling the sweep. It chips the red ever so slightly. It doesn't push the red out to the now third position. It remains third stone after the shooter rolls in to be shot. There's a bit of a pocket now for Duncan to draw to, or they could try to double the stones out. I would just draw into the pocket and you might be giving up 2 points. Actually, maybe go for the double. I don't know if the double's there though. It'd be a pretty thin double, but that might be the way to make the shot. The downside though is if you miss, then you're giving up 3. So some last minute conversation with Kenny and Alyssa. And this is Kenny's last shot without the hammer here in the fourth end. I think going for the double, just based on the weight, actually maybe just a nose hit, that would also be fine. So it gets 2 of the yellows moving, 1 goes to the back, 8 foot, that might be second shots. So a good effort there by Kenny Duncan. Takes Hernandez down from 2 to maybe 1 or none. And I think they're going for the draw to make sure that the yellows outcount the yellows outcount the red in the outer 8-foot ring. So David is about to deliver his last. Looking for a heavy draw to tap the red back to score 2. And the sweepers are now trying to coach it over as much as they can. 1266, so this is a hack weight or bumper weight. And it does bump the red to the 12-foot and looks to be good enough for 2 points. And they're kicking the stones. That does appear to be the end of the end. And so Team Hernandez is going to take a 6-1 lead into the 5th end. And Team Duncan will have the hammer when we continue from CurlVegas. We are back, and we have rocks in play as Sam just threw her first stone at guard, as Kira's first rock was a draw into the top of the rings. And Kira's, I think, going to be asked to put up a center guard. And that is the centerline guard. The no-tick rule does apply to that stone for another 2 rocks. Update on the other semifinal. Team Rice was up 2-1, but in the next 2 ends, or the last 2 ends, Coyote, or Orange Coyote, was forced to a single, but then stole 2 in the 4th end, and so they are up 5-2 over Rice. So interesting games all around, as our future game has Team Hernandez up 6-1 over Team Duncan. And this is looking to be more of a guard, or they're worried about it ticking the center line, but it's not going to get back enough. So a Christmas tree or a little coral reef of rocks is building in the deep seas of the middle guard zone. So both these games are playing to see who will advance to the championship game, and that's going to be at 1:30 p.m. The winners of the game will be in that game. The teams that lose this game will be in the 3rd place game for a chance for at least some hardware to finish the weekend. Alec and his first shot are underway, looking to try and draw around the guard. Sweepers are really working hard, but it ends up chipping the guard. So the guard zone rolls over, so I think they're looking at maybe peeling the guards. And Alyssa Duncan is in the hack for her first stone. Looking for some peel action on aisle B, or aisle 2 actually, for 2 of hearts. And it's going to peel one of the reds, and that is all. So I wonder if David's going to want to try and draw around with his next rock, as the the front zone is pretty well covered at this point. That takeout time for the peel was about 9:15, which is pretty good. So I think looking to draw around or possibly raise the yellow if it needs to. The miss would be a little heavy or too light. You don't want to open up that side by being too, just hitting the guard to the side. This could also be hitting the guard up, and that's what actually happens. It's going to raise the guard, to the top 4 foot. And so that is how Hernandez is sitting 2 right now.
Thank you. Good weight call. Couldn't have done it without the weight call.
Here before the thing, and so you're going to have rocks that maybe crossing over and still be.
So some more cleanup in the mid-guard zone for Alyssa Duncan.
Yes, we're going to do the other thing. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yeah, I don't think they realize that. It might be the camera that said.
And the line looks good. And they're actually curling away from the sidewalk, so it's going to curl at least a little bit. It does chip the yellow out, and the shooter will go to the side of the sheet where it will guard part of the shot, part of the sheet, and I think make it harder to draw on that side if they choose to later in the end. So time for Zach and his first rock. Looking to put up a guard. And this is looking pretty guardy if it gets over the hog line. And it will. I think excellent shot. The guard stone is blocking the easiest path to those 2 counting stones around the 4 foot. And the guard was peeled. So back to square one. We're back to 2 shots ago. I would do the kind of rewind lines like blah, blah, blah. I don't do rewind sounds apparently. Net start coming from Zach Altman. So a similar shot to his last. Maybe it's a little bit more weight because it was a pretty hard guard last time. And it's a pretty hard guard this time. But it does get to the guard position. Although that guard is so high, it might be possible to draw into the rings. And that seems to be what they're considering.
Killing me, Smalls.
So the broom is down. She is next to the rods because I think they would like to try to make a play on the stones in the rings, but if they end up peeling the guard, that's fine. So this is kind of a 50-50 shot in terms of what to hit, either the guard or the rocks in the rings. I think it's more likely to hit the rocks, more likely to hit the guard, but we'll see what happens as Collins' shot is away. Working to push the curl. So it's past the guards, and now the rods in the rings are now into play. Gets both of those yellows touched, I guess, but one of the yellows goes out of play. The other one sticks around for a shot. This another question is, does Hernandez try to follow that red stone down somehow? So the broom is down for David Hernandez's first stone without the hammer. And I think they're set up for a draw. So I think they're going to try to draw on top of the yellow shot stone. That might be the call. This is on the guard, I think. All right, it's past the guard now. So the question is, where is it going to end up? And it's going to settle down, chipping the shot stone, and has a bit of a Three Amigos conga line right above the button. You have two yellows and a red, and they walked into a bar, and the bartender said, what would the bartender say? You can't get stoned in here. I don't know. Okay, so two yellow stones and a red stone walked into a bar, and the bartender says, "Get out, you can't roll in here." Maybe. We'll work on it. So the broom is down for Kenny Duncan to throw some weight at those Three Amigos. So they walked into the bar, and Kenny Duncan's going to do his best to bounce them out. As the shot's away, not a massive takeout weight, but it should be enough to get them both moving, although he's unhappy with that, as it will curl into the guard. And just kind of seeing his reaction there. So Hernandez does not have the hammer. They're up 6-1, and they're sitting 2 right now. So they could look to pop that red out, or they could try to, kind of close the door and make it super difficult for Kenny Duncan to score here. I would just draw in and just put a third stone into the pile. If it's a little high, that's fine. You don't want to be too heavy. You could tap it back a little bit though, so I would just draw in. They look to be going to try to hit the red out, which is also a good play. And David is set for his last rock without the hammer here in the 5th end. Sitting 2, looking to pop out the red, that is, I think, 3rd rock. And I think they're actually going to hit their own stone. And disaster. Oh, no. They actually end up moving their stones. And that's why I was kind of lukewarm about that shot. Oh, no. So now Duncan has 1 in hand, and they have a draw for 2. And that was the wrong way to miss, unfortunately. Oh, man. It didn't curl back as much as I had hoped, but it stayed pretty straight. I thought they accounted for it, though. So an opportunity here for Kenny Duncan. Sitting 1, chance for 2. Just needs to draw and basically touch the forefoot for that second point. This is the hammer coming from Kenny Duncan from Team Duncan. down 5, a chance to jump within 3. And they're coming out to sweep. It needs to be touching the forefoot for that second point. And Kenny just pulled the string on that, unfortunately, so it's just going to be a single point. Oh, man. So leaving some points on the table. You start to feel that as you get into competitive play. Oh, my goodness. Unfortunate there for Kenny Duncan. Pause in the action. We'll be right back as we continue with our coverage from CurlVegas. About to get underway here in the 6th end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. First rock coming from Sam. And this rock is going to settle in at the top of the house, I believe. It's a biter. And so Hernandez is likely going to take it out with Kira in her first stone. And her rock is away. Okay, so actually going to draw into the... going to go through. So she tried to do the takeout. Just a little heavy in that one. The weight was fine. It just wasn't on broom. So Sam is getting ready for her next stone. And looking to put up a guard, I believe. And that is a guard. Doesn't really cover the shot stone, though.
You like the hit? You could draw around it if you were comfortable. I like the hit better.
Yeah, if you remove that guard, it's coming back.
What do you want?
So talking over the shots on the ice. And Herd and Idona said chuckling admiring the confidence as Kira's net shot is away. Looking to try to take out the shot stone again. And okay, so this is more of a draw. And this is going to draw in and settle in the top 8 foot. Don't mind me, I'm just eating a couple cookies. Or maybe a cookie. Oh, it's so crinkly. It's so crinkly. I'm done. All right, they're JoJo's, man. So Alyssa Duncan is going down the ice for her shot. Excuse me, no worries. I'm trying to keep the cookie from falling off my iPad. All right. So looking for a takeout. This is Alyssa's first, I believe. And it looks like it's going to hit the shot stone. And it does indeed. The yellow goes sayonara. And red is sitting 2 now. And so now David wants those stones gone. Makes perfect sense. So many loud crinkling noises. I apologize. Although it kind of reminds me when Tyler George is doing broadcasting, they talk about like the sodas he's drinking. I think it was it Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper one year. So looking for a takeout with Alec and his first stone. Past the guard, does get both stones moving. Is it going to be a double takeout? It is a double takeout, brought to you by doubletakeout.com. So looking for a takeout with Alec and his first stone. Past the guard, does get both stones moving. Is it going to be a double takeout? It is a double takeout, brought to you by doubletakeout.com. So back to the main action. Seeing some stuttering in the system. I'm not quite sure what's going on, so I apologize for that. Empty house right now for Team Duncan. They do not have the hammer in this 6th end. Update on the other semifinal as Team Rice was held to a single point in the 5th end. It is Team Orange Coyote up 5-3 in the 6th end on the other sheet, which is available on the CurlVegas YouTube channel. And so this net stone coming from Alyssa is a draw to the top 4 foot. So looks like David is going to try to hit and roll under the cover of the opposing team's guard. So we did talk about how Rice and Orange Coyote got to the semifinals. So I can do that in just a moment as the hit was made. So Team Rice is the number 1 seed and the highest remaining seed in the competition. They were undefeated in pool play, the cards pool, and they also had the best draw shot, as I can tell, 60.92 centimeters. So their record through pool play, 4-0, defeating Full House from Lake Tahoe, One Country, Orange Coyote from Coyotes in Orange County, and In and Out Turns from OC and One Country, and Clever Curl from OC Curling. And so they went to the quarterfinals and they faced In and Out Turns in a rematch, and In and Out Turns, they fought, but Rice pulled ahead to take a 12-2 win, and that is how Rice is in this semifinal, as they are down 5-2 right now with 3 ends to play. They're 5-3. They're down. Apologies. And then the tail of the tape for Orange Coyote. Orange Coyote went through cards pool play with a 3-1 record, defeating Clever Curl, falling to Team Rice, then bouncing back to defeat Full House and In and Out Turns. And then in the quarterfinal, they were in a bit of a strap actually, pardon me, with Sandstorm Sweepers. And Sandstorm Sweepers had the lead. And then Orange Coyote came back, and Sandstorm Sweepers tied it in 7. And then Orange Coyote had the win in 8, so they broke the tie in 8. So, and that's how they ended up in this semifinal. So the guard is gone, and it looks like Team Duncan is going to try to split the rings. With Jen Collins' net stone. Looks like the weight might be just a smidge heavy. As this is going to settle in at around the T line, so not too bad, and that does appear to be shot. Have a good one. So, Zach is going to throw some heat at one of these stones. This is needs to come over a smidge more. It does, and it's going to roll over on top of the red on the right and kisses that red back to the 12-foot. So, great shot there by Zach. Zach is going to throw some heat at one of these stones. This is needs to come over a smidge more. It does, and it's going to roll over on top of the red on the right and kisses that red back to the 12-foot. So, great shot there by Zach. All right, back to the live action. And I was distracted a little bit because I wanted to make sure that the video link to the Rice Orange Coyote game was there, and it is now. So we are to the skip stones, and Kenny is looking to pop out that yellow shot rock on the right side, and it looks like it's on the money. Oh, it over curls slightly and actually just hits the other red instead. Oh my goodness. So now Hernandez is going to take on that red rock on the edge of the 12-foot. I think they could ignore it, possibly. I mean, I guess they want to make sure that Team Duncan doesn't have a chance to score multiple points here, but it's Hernandez that has the hammer. And so basically, if they split, well, it's one way to split the rings, and if they're confident in making the hit, then that works. I prefer to draw, so that type of tendency for me is leaking through. I've seen a lot of teams that are great at hitting, and Team Hernandez is among them. So working to manage the curl, looking to hit out the red stone and sit 2, and that shot is made. And what was I worried about? That was a beautiful shot there by David Hernandez. So sitting 2 now, or facing 2 actually. Team Duncan is, I think, going to try to hit out at least one of the yellows. Maybe get lucky and get them both, because there's not a lot of separation between those 2 stones. This is Kenny Duncan with his last here in the 6th end. And it's going to get one of them. And the shooter does not roll as the nose hits. And so Hernandez could try to throw the hit again, or they could draw. So I think they're going to hit again, but I'm not entirely sure.
We don't need full 8. Okay.
So the bell means that the double takeout balloons have gone to the other sheets. Appears to have been nabbed by Team Rise. So, ooh. I thought David was about to deliver the stone, and he ended up kind of dropping the broom and cleaning the bottom of the stone, which is important. So he asked for full 8, so they're going to draw. This is the last rock here in the 6th end, sitting 1, a draw for 2. And needs to make sure he doesn't pull the string, because that's left some points on the board by both teams, I believe. So this is looking pretty good for the second point. as Zach was like kind of waving the other teammates off, and that is good for the second point. And that is going to be all. That is handshakes for Team Duncan. Make the final 8-2. And so a good game there. Just Duncan wasn't able to find a way into scoring. So we're going to take a second and maybe jump over to the other game, because we have the other game and we have the technology. We can rebuild him. Talking about the, is it the $5 million man, or I forget, $6 million man. Adjusting for inflation, the $6 million man would now be worth $43 million in today's money. So just a fun fact to bust out at parties. And so stay tuned. We're going to switch games in about 30 seconds. You can hear applause as Hernandez is coming off the ice. And so it's kind of, yeah, these are some players' last games, and so it's kind of bittersweet for a lot of these players. And it's just bittersweet to be at the end of the event and, like, you know, this is it. This is the end. Farewell, my... I'm trying to think of the song. This is the end. So we're able to jump on to the other sheets. And let's take a look. The score right now is Orange Coyote up 5-3 over Team Rice. Rice is the 1 seed in this pool. So the winner of this game will advance to take on Team Hernandez in the championship game. The winner will receive the illustrious MoPac banner, as well as a berth to the national championship if they haven't already qualified. So looking around the rings, Orange Coyote has the hammer this end, and they're sitting third shot. Team Rice has the first and second stones in the rings, and there's a decent amount of guards in the way, so kind of complicating the issue here. We are 2 skip stones, so we see Jeff Kunkel talking things over with his vice, Woody Woo. The skip for Team Rice is named Rice by coincidence, Joseph Rice. We're actually going to name Team Teriyaki, and it's like, what about just Team Rice? So they went with Team Rice. And so the team is named after Jeremy Rice, but they definitely leaned into the Rice imagery. Joseph Rice. Their logo is a curling stone that opens up and reveals to be an Ochawan of rice. Ochawan being the Japanese word for rice bowl. So this is the first rock for Orange Coyote, looking to draw through the gap, through those high guards, to get to the shot stones on the right side of the house. So it's through the port. Now the question is, how's it going to sit down? It chips off of the red and then rolls to the back. Oh my goodness, that is so close. So they were super close to being shot, just a little too hot, and it ends up going to the back 12 foot. Oh my gosh.
I guess I've had enough time. I can take another Advil before the next game.
So the winner of this game will face Team Hernandez in the championship game, as I mentioned before. The game time for that is 1:30 p.m. So just about an hour from now. We're playing pretty fast today. It's kind of the Get Out of Town special. And I think they're looking to maybe close the door, and that would maybe force Orange Coyote to draw for a single point. This situation is working out really well for Team Rice. They're in a position to steal 2 and tie. This is an even end, so if they tie here, force Orange Coyote to a single point, then they would have the hammer coming home down 1, which mathematically is not a bad place to be.
I think Peter and I were just absolutely.
David kept asking me stuff, and I was just like, what?
So they're talking over their shot. I can't quite hear what they're saying. I think they have a couple chances. They have a couple options. I think the obvious one is to block that draw path through the pores, so then it forces Orange Coyote to try a fairly tricky draw around a middle guard to the 4 foot. So this is the last rock for Team Rice and Joseph Rice. This is only N6. And this rock is going to maybe crash on the guard, but it's enough to kick it into the draw path. And then also, this really worked out well for Team Rice, and almost as if they drew it up that way. The shooter rolled wide right, so it blocks that draw on the right side. Looking down the ice, and then looking at the house, it'd be a draw, from the left to the right. So this is a dilly of a pickle for Orange Coyote. Also, I don't think there's a huge risk of promoting another red into the rings. They really can't go down the right side and hit and roll in.
I'm here, I'm following. I'll get my jacket. It's probably cold out there.
So the decision's made. I think they're going to try and go through that path again. And the level of difficulty is pretty high, but we've definitely seen that Coyotes players are made of sterner stuff when it comes to making clutch shots. And a lot of teams can make a lot of clutch shots, but definitely Coyotes players have definitely been seen to come through when the chips are down. As Jeff Kunkel gets sets and delivers his last rock. So looking not too bad out of hand. They're working to push it over. This could be on the red, and this could be a bit of a disaster. And it is a disaster. Oh no, I thought they were going to get around that stone, and they don't. That is a steal of 3 for Team Rice. They take a 6-5 lead over Orange Coyote. And so we will definitely see how Orange Coyote responds in just a moment. We come back to the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. We'll be right back. All right, we are back to the action. As you can see our sponsors in the rotating graphic, thanks to our sponsors, including curling.gg, Endgame Curling, and DoubleTakeout.com. So for Team Rice, Scott Campbell threw the opening guard, and we're going to see how Hal Brown responds. We are running a little bit behind on time. I don't know if the teams have been talked to, but these we're at about 2 hours of playtime right now. So Hal Brown looks to draw a round. Yeah, so these games are not being timed, and there's no time limit for this game. But we have been encouraging speedy play this entire weekend. And so 17 minutes or less is the goal. If you start taking 19 minutes or more, we start talking to you and both teams to say, hey, pick it up. And I don't know if that's been done in this game. So the second stone coming from Scott Campbell. So there's 3 guards in the rings. Hal Brown is looking to draw around the center guard, which is on the center line. The no-tick rule applies for the next 2 stones. And it's going to raise the guard into the rings. It's going to settle in the top 8 foot. We have the second for Rice delivering his first stone. This is Brian Campbell. working to try to push the curl. I think trying to raise one of their reds into the rings. It looks like it's going to make some contact. The question is, where does it go? It goes right past the yellow shot stone, and so I can predict that. I say predict that they were going to try and kind of draw around on the outside, but they're going to try that raise again. It worked so well for them last time. That makes perfect sense. So the score right now is Rise 6, Team Orange Coyote 5. The winner will advance to play Team Hernandez for the championship. And you can't see this, but they are working to get the sheets for the championship and the third place game ready right now because they're on sheets that are not in use right now. So once this game ends, there should be a fairly quick turnaround, and I think we should hope to start the 130 championship close to on time. As that shot from the second for Orange Coyote, Matt O'Brien ends up kind of splitting, or kind of spilling in, I suppose. And so that gives Brian Campbell a chance to hit and roll under, working to hold the line. They don't want it to over curl on them. And it's curling a decent amount. It's going to hit it on the inside. Actually, just nose hits. So, with Orange Coyote sitting 1, Jeff is kind of looking at what to do to, I think, take full advantage of having the hammer here in the 7th end. Ideally, they store 2 or more here, or blank, but I think they want to store 2 or more here, as Woody comes up to talk over the situation. And this game being running long, I think just disadvantages whoever is going to go into the championship, because these teams are going to come down off of this game and then have to go right back on the ice. I don't know if there's any sort of like minimum break rule, like we're employees at a convenience store or something, where it's like I need a 15-minute break or something. I mean, I think we could try to give it to them. But it's just interesting to see just the conversations happening. Definitely seeking to take full advantage of the time available to them, which is understandable. So talking over the shots, and I think they've opted to try to hit the red out. There's a jam possibility. This is a modest jam possibility. As Matt O'Brien gets set and delivers his second stone of this end. And looking to chip out the red. And Hal's trying to push it over. It does make contact with the red, and the shooter goes away. And so it is just 1 yellow in the rings right now. It's gotten pretty quiet in this warm room. So 1 yellow in the rings, and Brendan Foland, the vice for Team Rice, is getting sets. And looking to draw around the center guard, and I think sit buried if he can. His shot's away. And the line looks pretty good. Definitely going to get around the guard, I believe. Actually, it's tight to the guard now. Okay, around the guard. Another question is, where is it going to sit down? It's going to sit down in the back forefoot. So a great draw there from Brendan. So the question is, what does Orange Coyote do now? They're looking at it: control, weight, raise, takeout. Run the yellow back onto the red. So the line looks okay. They need to make sure they hit it close to center. It's curling now. So they're working to hold the line. Now it's over curling. It's on the red. It opens it up though, and the shooter's going to go to the side of the sheet out of play. So it looks like Rice didn't, just took a beat to say we want to put up a guard. So net threat coming from Brendan. And just looking for a guard. And that is going to be a guard. It does wick off of the guard and roll open, so they could try that raise again. As a Woody Woo is getting set for his shots. And looking for some takeout weights. Line's looking pretty good. It needs to curl a little bit more. It's trying to hit the inside of the yellow. Ooh, that was close to working. It hits the yellow that was in the house and pushes that to the back 12. So you have two yellows in the 12-foot and a red Rice shot rock. So the raise is still there, though, as we see we're to skip stones already. Just like that, Joseph Rice in the hack, left-handed delivery, looking to put up a guard. I'm pretty sure it's a guard. I think the goal is to take away that run back, and it's over curling slightly, and over curls just by a sliver. So down one, looking for a multiple point score. I think they have to go for this. I think they need to go for the raise takeout. Then they would be sitting hopefully three, maybe two, maybe one, or none, just depending on how the shot goes. So Rice is in the hack, cleaning the stone, looking to raise the yellow onto the red. The line is going to be super important here. And he is pushing out with his first, I believe. Looking to raise the yellow onto red. This is over curling. Maybe look for a plan B, hit the red or somehow. So it hits the red. Oh, it hits the red on the yellow. Oh my gosh. So just the wrong way to miss, but I think they had to take a chance. And so very quickly, Joseph Rice is heading down the hack to get set for his last stone. Orange Coyote definitely put the pressure on to Team Rice, but it appears that Rice is getting into a prime position to punch their ticket to the 1:30 p.m. championship. So just looking to put up a front stone or a guard. And now the question is, what does Orange Coyote do? They are, I think, kind of hard pressed. I'm kind of curious about what they need here, what they can do here, because they could give up a steal of 1 and be down 2 with the hammer, which is not awful, because if the game is tied, it goes to a draw to the button. They don't want to give up multiple points here, and if they drop for 1, they would be tied without the hammer coming home, which is not a bad outcome either. So I would lean towards that. But this is a tough situation. Orange Coyote are the defending champions of this event. And so the last 2 champions of this event are still, I mean, they were still attending. And Jeff Kunkel is actually part of a team that won in 2023. So Complete Sheet Show was the number 2 seed, and they were upset in the quarterfinals. And then Team Kunkel actually played Complete Sheet Show in the final last year. And Kunkel is the same team makeup as Orange Coyote. So they are the defending champions. And looking to find a way to get back to the final. They're looking at a tricky shot for 2. Basically, do kind of a slash double, and that would be for 2 because they would need to hit the outside of the red that's in the outer 12-foot, or actually they're looking to do an in-off. I was thinking slash double, but in-off. And actually, I agree. The slash would probably lead to one of the reds jamming on the back. So the broom is down, looking for that multiple point score to take the lead into the final ends. Jeff Kunkel is talking things over with his front end, discussing the lines perhaps. This is going to be a tricky shot. It's not super quiet in the warm room. So, getting set. Taking a beat to collect himself. And he is away looking for a low percentage, high risk, high reward shot. Needs to curl a little bit more than they were planning. It looks like it's going to nose hit the red. So it's going to end up being a steal of 1. So that's not a bad outcome. Orange Coyote will be down 2 with the hammer coming home, and then Rice will be up 2 without the hammer. So they have, they're in a pretty good position to be up 2 at this point. So pause in the action. We'll be right back as we continue with the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. Rocks in play. We are underway here in the 8th end of a 2-point game. Team Rice has come back to take a 2-point lead in the 8th and final end of regulation. Should we be tied at the end of this end, we will go to a draw shot challenge to determine the victor. So Scott Campbell's first rock goes into the rings, and Hal Brown's first rock is a corner drawer that is tight to the right side of the house. So both these teams hail from Coyotes Curling Club. So the championship game will be a Coyotes versus Hollywood / CurlVegas game. And a member of Team Rice was telling me that both teams kind of, they get into kind of scrapes against each other because they just play each other a lot, and they're always kind of battles. So we're definitely seeing one here. As the net struck from Scott was a center-ish guard. Hal's net struck. They're playing more fast now, more quickly. So Hal is able to execute the hit. I don't know if you guys can hear me chewing. I'm trying to do a little snacking because I've been doing this all day. So the broom is down for Brian Campbell to hit out the Orange Coyote yellow in the top 8 foot. And it's looking pretty good. Looking good for maybe a hit and roll. It hits and it does roll under cover. That was a great shot. And you can tell there might be some delay in the broadcast and when I call it, because there was applause from the warm room after making that shot. So I think the next call from Jeff is to hit and roll on the shot stone. This is Matt O'Brien's first. This is a pretty exciting conclusion to our semifinal play. And, he only chips that red. He does chip it open to the other side, and then the shooter goes through the rings out of play. Net struck from Brian Campbell. Looking to, I think, just peel the guard. It does peel the guard, and the shear is going to roll across the house out of play. So, some discussion about what Orange Coyote should do next. And they need to find a place to stash a stone and then hopefully draw for a second point to tie the game. If they can get 3, that's great. It's not looking like a chance for 3 right now. As Matt O'Brien's second stone slides down the sheets. I think they were looking to draw around the guard and freeze on the red on the forefoot. This is coming up a little heavy though. This is going to go through the center of the house to the back of the house where it sits down. I feel like those football announcers, like, he's going to go the 25, the 35, and he stopped at the 36. So we started with 15 teams, and there's only 3 teams standing now, with these 2 teams looking to be one of the 2 teams remaining for the championship. And then we will see which team will be the lone team on top of the totem and claiming the illustrious MoPac banner, as well as a berth to the USA Curling 500 National Championships. So it looks like they're going to try and draw down on top of the yellow that was just thrown. So it's looking pretty good. I'm just watching the stones as they go down. They wanted to, I think, draw on top of the yellow. It overcurls slightly and kind of whips off of their own shot stone, and then sits down on the back button. So not a bad place for it, although I think it does set up a possible double. So Orange Coyotes looking it over. They need to remove the Rice counters and get the scoring position. I don't think drawing helps too much at this point. I mean, they could draw. As we have Woody Woo getting set for his first. And his shot's away. Looks like it's coming up a little light. And it's only going to get to the tight guard zone in front of the house. Oh, man. So Orange Coyote has 3 stones remaining to try to change their destiny. And conversely, Team Rice basically needs to make sure that Orange Coyote does not rise to meet the occasion. So, looking at the situation, the reins for Brendan Foland, the vice skip for Team Rice. I think they're going to try to draw Well, maybe put up a guard. And this looks to be a guard. And maybe a chip off the yellow. It does. So 3 stones to go. How does Orange Coyote score 2 to tie? I don't think 3 is in the offing. So they're looking at a circus shot to angle raise the yellow into the pile of reds for a double. That does seem possible, but it does seem like the level of difficulty is very high. But we talked about high risk reward. There's only one reward, and that's to try to score. And so almost any risk is possible, or any risk is necessary at this point, within reason. So looking to angle raise the yellow onto reds. This is floating out. Hal was sweeping, but just kind of lets it go. And this looks to be not quite the end. But we're going to need a Stips Deuce for Orange Coyote to take the next step. And likewise, Rice needs to prevent Jeff Kunkel from reaching the rings to score those 2 points needed to tie, or 3 points to win. So looking to put up another guard. So looking to put up a guard.
It looks so small on the TV.
And that guard is in place. And so now what does Jeff Kunkel and Orange Coyote do? I don't know what they're going to do. So we were looking at the outside, and they were looking at the outside again. Maybe we were looking at the outside shot for the last end. Just trying to double those reds out on the outside. They saw it before I did, so credit to them. So looking to do inside out, so going for the in-turn clockwise rotation, and they're going to need to hit it close to the face to get the motion, the angles they need. But this could be the game right here, as Jeff Kunkel pushes out from the hack, looking for a double takeout to stay alive. And everyone's looking at the line. It's on the red rock. It crashes on the red rock. So not quite the game necessarily, but it definitely doesn't improve things too much in the house for Orange Coyote. Team Rice is sitting first and second shot, possibly scoring 2 if the end were to conclude right now. And then Orange Coyote is sitting third shot, and Kunkel is working his darndest to try to bring that into play. jokingly calling a timeout. This is like 20 seconds ago. So Red Rock looking to put up a guard to prevent the double takeouts. They don't want it to over curl. And it looks like it's going to be close. That guard is definitely blocking the path. I don't know if there's a way around it. So Jeff's looking at, I think, circus shots. Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. So I see someone kind of standing off to the side. They are maybe looking at the angle run back double takeout for the tie. So, you know, how often do you get to say that? It's a Coyotes team though, so they could pull it off. Because there's nothing really down the middle. The right side doesn't have a lot offering to it. So they're looking at the angles for the angle run back double takeout. That is a phrase you don't get to say every day. As the front end for Coyote Orange takes a look at the situation in the rings. This is a sticky wicket. Oh man! I mean, they had to do a double takeout to do the tie. So looking around the rings. I think that's the most likely shot. They could try to go down the right side again, but I don't think it's there. And there's not a lot. There's so much traffic in the middle. And they need two to tie. They need the double takeout to tie this game. So Jeff is getting into the hack, going for the 3-ring circus of circus shots. Taking a pause, I just looking to see if you can see the shot. You know, one important element of making shots is you have to believe that you can make the shot. If you don't believe you can make the shot, you're not going to make it most of the time, or a good amount of the time, I should say. So. It looks like they're changing the shot. I don't. I mean, there could be a port there. I'm just not sure the port's there. That's where they have the broom. They're going to shoot the gap. 4-2. There's about a 20-second delay between what we're seeing and what's happening in real time. So Jeff Kunkel gets set
Here, help me do this.
and delivers. Line looks a little tight, and it's going to crash on the second pair of guards, or the second row of guards. And that is it. Make the final 9-5. Team Rice over Orange Coyote. Team Rice advances to the championship game. Orange Coyote will move to the third place game. Hugs and handshakes all around. And we're going to take a very quick pause in the action. We're going to end this broadcast, but we will be back in just a few minutes with the championship games, where it will be Team Rice taking on Team Hernandez for the illustrious MoPac banner made out of fine Corinthian vinyl. So, until then, on behalf of all of us here at MoPac, and with thanks to CurlVegas and our sponsors, we're going to say good afternoon, good curling, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Cool.